Moment, the fear you'd feel, the split-second decision you'd have to make if you're on the highway and suddenly see the headlights of a wrong-way driver. The drivers who saw Dawn Ewing had that experience earlier this month as she sped westbound in the eastbound lanes of I-94 before the crash that killed her and an innocent man. Like you, we've wondered, how does this happen? How do people end up going the wrong way on the highway? But when we started looking for the common thread, we discovered something else. On the morning of January 1st,
the traffic was really light.
Mike Ball was westbound on 94.
Somewhere around 35th Street.
When he noticed a car.
It took a moment just to realize what was happening.
A car coming right at him.
The distance closed so quickly.
Two 60-mile-an-hour missiles.
I didn't have a whole lot of time to react.
Moments away from impact. The wrong-way driver was in the fast lane.
I hugged the wall as close as I could.
Mike Ball had no room to move.
I mean, I thought I was going to die. I literally thought that this was it. At the last second, he swerved.
The scrapes still scar his right front fender. Seconds later, as the car vanished in Mike's rearview mirror, Corey Damsky was killed. Her bright red car crushed in a head-on crash.
We need emergency assistance here. Really bad.
The drunk driver, Leopoldo Silas Gaitan, was the first of 9 wrong-way drunk drivers caught in Milwaukee County so far this year.
So he's driving northbound on the southbound lanes?
The car was going the wrong way and it hit another car. There was a car going down the wrong way.
I don't even want to watch this. He's going to hit somebody.
We wondered if the cases have anything in common, aside from the driver being drunk.
It's dangerous a situation as you can get.
Something that would help explain such extreme,
Oh, wow. He almost got hit head on.
erratic behavior.
Ooh, just missed him again.
It's going to be a catastrophic impact.
Milwaukee County Sheriff David Clark has also been searching for similarities.
We're trying to find, it might be that needle in the haystack that we can impact on to reverse this trend because it's growing.
What Fox 6 found may surprise you. What do you think the Milwaukee County cases have in common? The drivers all got onto the freeway by going the wrong way up an off-ramp. The drivers weren't just going the wrong way, they were going faster than the speed limit. The wrong-way drivers were all more than twice the legal limit, or all the wrong-way drivers had at least one prior OWI. The answer in a moment, but first, you wonder how it could happen, how you could even end up actually driving on the wrong side and not realize it.
There is a beige white pickup truck heading northbound on the southbound lanes of I-43.
Like Armando Rodriguez Benitez here in the white pickup.
And he's in the high-speed lane heading north with the southbound lane.
Cars whizzing past him.
A white pickup truck going the wrong way.
Forcing at least one into the barrier. 4 miles on the freeway without a clue he's going north in the southbound lanes of I-43.
And I was already pretty well lit.
This wrong-way driver, whose identity we agreed to protect, knows how it could happen. He drove northbound.
I hit some of the barrels
in the southbound lanes of Highway 41.
and I crossed over somehow.
Over the grass median, right into oncoming traffic. And the scariest part?
And I don't recall any of it.
None of it.
Everything just went into a blackout.
And that's not unusual.
I really only remember having 2 drinks.
Alicia, we'll call her, was arrested going the wrong way on 794.
I had absolutely no idea that I was backwards on the freeway. None whatsoever.
And she still has no idea how it happened.
Did I get on the wrong way or did I make a U-turn?
So what do you think? What do the Milwaukee County cases have in common? All the drivers entered from off-ramps? That's how most ended up going the wrong way. Most, but not all. Here's Joel, Julie, and Jorge, for example, zipping onto 894 from the 76th Street off-ramp.
I was going the wrong way. I'm going about 80, 90 miles an hour.
After 2 miles going east on the westbound side, watch the spotlight. He crashes head-on into an SUV and nearly kills his passenger.
And it's hideous. We just want to be able to drive away.
But watch this video just before the fatal I-94 crash that killed Corey Damsky. You can actually see from the deputy's dash cam Leopoldo Silas Gaitan making a U-turn right on the interstate. And he's not the only one who's made that dangerous maneuver. Perhaps you guessed all the wrong-way drivers were going over the speed limit.
Oh, wow. You almost got hit head on.
Actually, several of the drivers
Left front tire is flat.
were just puttering along. Listen to the 911 call before Lanier Sanders Jr. got busted going the wrong way on Highway 145.
He's only going like 10 miles an hour right now.
That's one of the indicators of inebriation.
So you may have guessed all the drivers drunk enough to go the wrong way were more than twice the legal limit. In fact, only half the drivers arrested were that drunk. When Stephen Dolan, for example, crashed through two barricades and headed up the I-94 off-ramp near Miller Park going the wrong way, he blew a .14. Which leaves the obvious. All the wrong-way drivers had at least one prior OWI. Not even close. In fact, only one, Justin Murphy, who's accused of making a U-turn on Interstate 43 near Bayshore, had a prior OWI. For all the others, it was their first. A sobering statistic if you don't think it could ever happen to you. So what do the Milwaukee County wrong-way drunk driver cases have in common? Not one of the drivers so far this year has been convicted of driving on the wrong side of the freeway.
It goes on too often.
The charge is State Statute 346.15, driving the wrong way on a divided highway, a municipal citation. In every closed case in Milwaukee County, the charge was dismissed.
You have the evidence. Why are we throwing in a free pass?
The DA's office makes that decision.
We take it on a case-by-case basis.
So we asked them. In some cases, like Alicia's, the driver pled guilty to first OWI, and in exchange, prosecutors dropped the wrong-way driving.
If they're willing to accept responsibility for the most serious charge, we accept that plea quickly.
In others, in which cars had to swerve or crashed, the driver faced at least one felony and possible prison time, so the smaller citation was dropped. The DA's office does it to keep the cost of prosecution down. But a wrong-way drunk driver now actually stands a greater chance of being hit with a felony. The DA's office has a new special prosecutor just for drunk driving cases, a prosecutor who can zero in on the details and decide if the wrong-way driver put anyone in direct danger.
It's a significant departure from the way we handled cases in the past.
If they did, they're now charged with recklessly endangering safety.
So in other words, they're going from a municipal offense, no criminal conviction at all the way up to a felony now.
That may be incentive enough for some not to drink and drive, but the most powerful message,
You're just playing Russian roulette.
comes from the wrong-way drivers themselves.
And I'm so lucky that I didn't take out another life.
Drivers who never dreamed it could happen to them.
It was just so confusing. I've never gotten arrested. I've never been arrested for anything.
Drivers who still struggle to understand.
How dumb could you be? Like, how would you do that? How would you even get on the wrong way?
In Wisconsin, we're actually fairly lucky. We've had relatively few wrong-way fatalities. In 2009, nationwide, are you ready for this? More than 1,700 people died in wrong-way crashes. In fact, the problem has gotten so bad in Arizona, they're now testing sensors that will detect if there's a wrong-way driver and then notify others on the highway with those electronic signs that a wrong-way driver is headed their way.
Wow. I don't even know where to begin. What do you do if you do see a wrong-way driver coming at you?
Well, unfortunately, there's not a whole lot you can do. Safety experts do suggest you put on your high beams just to try and warn them and try to figure out what lane that driver is in. Now, here's one important cue. Most often, they're going to be in the fast lane because they think from their perspective, they're in the slow lane, the right lane. You know, look at most of the video. They're hugging that wall. They think they're actually in the right lane.
So you should go to the opposite side?
But you never know. The gentleman we interviewed, Mike Ball, he just stayed